He's been one of the most vocal candidates out there.
If you want to go to a publicly financed, public four-year institution in your state, you should not take on a dime of debt.
But his wife, she's as gentle as they come. Amy O'Rourke, wife of former Democrat presidential hopeful Beto O'Rourke, hasn't always lived in the political spotlight. Amy was born in Texas as Amy Sanders, the daughter of a wealthy real estate magnate. But despite the Sanders being a big name in the local community, politics was never really discussed around the dinner table. But when she met her husband, her apolitical life quickly came to an end.
I met Beto, and a few weeks later he started running for city council, and so, our dates often included knocking on doors and going to neighborhood association meetings.
They've been running for one office or another ever since, and she's been right in the middle of it.
I would say every campaign that we've run, I've been intimately involved.
But it hasn't always been an easy road. In fact, when Beto first told her he was running for Congress in 2010, it brought her to tears.
I can remember it pretty vividly. We were in a parking lot. I was pregnant with our third son, Henry, and it was sort of out of the blue.
She worried Washington would change Beto, but the thing that brought her around was seeing the way that they could use Washington to make changes in their community.
We really began to understand how our community could be better represented through very strong leadership in D.C., in the U.S. House. We decided to give it a shot.
Beto announced his candidacy for president in March and just dropped out of the race in November. But a run for the highest office in the land was a completely different animal than this couple was used to. It was right here on this stage at the University of South Carolina where Beto O'Rourke laid out what his and Amy's plans would be if they entered the White House as President and First Lady of the United States. But in the end, the added responsibilities of making a run for the White House, including added travel time and added cost, ended up being too much, and the O'Rourkes ended their campaign. But Beto and Amy weren't the only O'Rourkes affected by the long and winding campaign trail, and the life lessons they were able to teach the youngest members of their family perhaps made it worthwhile in the end. This campaign, and the losing campaign for Senate, gave Amy and Beto the opportunity to teach their three children, Ulysses, Molly, and Henry, valuable life lessons.
Being able to talk about that with our kids, that it's, losing that race wasn't a failure.
And it shouldn't really be a surprise coming from Amy saying that the opportunity to educate their children was what made these losses worthwhile. As she says that when the political life is over for the O'Rourkes, whenever that may be, she wants to be remembered as an educator.
I have been involved in education throughout my professional career, and so I know that I will continue to focus on education in whatever capacity for the rest of my life.
For Carolina News, I'm Eli Brand.